The people who seem to get more done than everyone else, they're not working longer hours or running on more caffeine. They've just stopped wasting time on the stuff that doesn't move work forward. Switching apps, re-explaining context, hunting for files, those aren't small inefficiencies. They're hours wasted every week. Superhuman Go gives you those hours back. From the makers of Grammarly, Go is an AI chat that sits inside every tab and tool you already use. Always available and ready to help you with what you're working on. Ask it to draft something, summarize a long thread, pull up a file, or prep you for a meeting. Go handles it without you ever leaving the page you're on. This is what it looks like when AI actually fits into your work instead of adding to it. It's like having a teammate whose only job is to help you be better at yours. Go keeps up so you can move forward. With Go working with you, you can show off what you do best. See what Superhuman Go can do at superhuman.com. That's superhuman.com.
Well, welcome to Weathering Life number 2 with Belle and Lee. Before we start, we want to thank our initial and our first sponsor, Continental Diamond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
How are you?
Hey, I'm great. You know what? You've
just been multitasking.
I was. I'm going to turn
done?
this over. I'm
are
done.
You done?
Okay, so we're at the end of June.
Yeah.
And it's been a really, really big time here in Minnesota. A lot of people have really enjoyed the last 7 days have been the Special Olympics right here.
The 2020 Special Olympics USA Games. I want to take you back. This is a long time ago. Do you remember when the games came to the Metrodome?
Nope.
I volunteered. I was on KDWB at the time. I volunteered as a driver. So I'd go pick up people and bring them to different events all across town.
Wonderful.
They've been holding events at the University of Minnesota.
And in Blaine. 16 different kind of games. People coming in from the entire country.
So inspiring.
So inspiring.
Right?
Yes.
So going way back too, my nephew Davis was on the Stillwater Lumberjacks team. So all these communities around us have their Special Olympic teams. Like the Stillwater team was the Stillwater Lumberjacks.
They did a bunch of different sports, but your nephew did what?
Bowling.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that cute?
And I know the spokesperson for the Special Olympics is JG, which is Eric Perkins' daughter, Jenna Grace. And she did such a great job as being the spokesperson as it was coming. She's been talking about it for over a year. So congratulations to the Perkins family and to JG.
And everybody involved with the Special Olympics.
Everyone involved with the Special Olympics.
Such a cool thing.
Yes.
When I had horses, we used to do the Stillwater Lumberjacks would train where we had our horses in Stillwater. And these kids would be riding the horses and
so fabulous. Well, they're inspiring. I mean, my goodness. So really loved all the coverage and love seeing them. Now, this weekend's also a big golf weekend. I know you're a big golfer. What's going on?
The Women's PGA Championship at Hazeltine.
Oh, wow.
I covered it for Care 11 Saturday. I got in trouble. In 2019 is the last time they were at Hazeltine. And they had me up on this platform at Hazeltine. And the first tee was kind of just off to my right. And you guys came to me and I started talking and everybody turned around and said, shh.
We were live out there the entire week.
Yeah,
we were live out there for the PGA Championship. And then we were also live out there for the Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cup was awesome.
And the last day of the Ryder Cup was probably the best day I ever had with my dad.
Aww.
We spent the entire day at the Ryder Cup, which was his dream to go. And I got a ticket, bought tickets for him for his Christmas present. And it was a beautiful day. And literally, they were worried because it was earlier in the month, or no, later, and they were worried it might.
The weather was perfect.
And then
late September.
And then the weekend before when it should have been, it snowed. Remember that?
Crazy.
So it was perfect. Yeah. And of course we won.
Yeah.
Meaning Team USA won.
Yeah.
So anyway, I never will forget that time.
I know. So
at Hazeltine. So that's a big weekend. People will go out and see that.
Yeah, get out and support the women in the PGA Championship at Hazeltine. It's a pretty cool thing to go out and watch how they hit the ball. Wow.
It's amazing.
I just wish.
And you're a big part of Minnesota golf. You're on a big thing.
I do. The Minnesota Golf Association has a senior tour. And by the way, 50 or older, this is the best thing. On Mondays, we get to go play courses all over the cities, all over the state. I was up at Madden's a few weeks ago. That was so much fun. And I do it. I ran into Tom Lehman's brother, Jim. And I said, what have you been doing? He goes, I got a new hobby. I go, what's that? He goes, I'm going to do a competitive golf. You play by the rules, not just go out and hit it, and
don't you always play by the rules?
Well,
do people cheat?
Some
What's going
people,
on?
Gimme. Oh, that's good. Or, you got to play by the rules and play by the. So I do competitive. That's my new hobby too, competitive golf.
So you're actually now playing by the rules in Balsvik?
Yeah.
Way to go. Way to go. All right. Well, we're really excited because this is our second podcast, but this is our first podcast with a guest. So when we come back,
our very first guest. Wow.
So when we come back from the break, we will introduce you to our first guest on Weathering Life with Belle and Lee.
All right. Back on Weathering Life with Belle and Lee. And this is our new project. Our second show. The first show, we just talked to each other and introduced the show.
But now we're actually going to have a real podcast because we're going to have a guest.
And we have our very first guest. And this show is kind of like we've been talking about transitions in life. And who else to have on the show than a guy who just recently retired. And we had a huge party at the Mall of America. And now we go to him live in Colorado. Where are you in Colorado?
Hi, Dave
Ryan.
Hi,
hello.
Dave Ryan.
My gosh. First of all, let me tell you, you have a beautiful looking little backdrop here, a studio. There's no green screen. This is beautiful.
Nipper.
And Nipper is up there. That's the RCA dog.
See?
Old people,
you knew. I didn't
know this.
know.
Yeah.
Well, you're not old like me in Volsvik. What's funny, I have so many stories about Belinda and the first time I ever saw Belinda. Can I start with the first time I ever saw Belinda on TV? The first time you and I started in the same year, about 1993.
Yes.
That sound right? And so here I am watching Carrie Levin Saturday morning, and it was the Halloween show. And there's this beautiful woman. She's dressed as a princess, if I remember right. And I thought, oh, well, they got Nicolette Sheridan on the TV show there. And then I realized that's not Nicolette Sheridan. That's who is that? Oh, her name's Belinda. And I thought this because, Belinda, and I don't want to sound weird, but you're so beautiful and striking that I actually thought you were Nicolette Sheridan. And I'm like, why is Nicolette Sheridan?
I will take it. I was 25 back then. I'm now going to be 58. So I appreciate that, Dave.
Yeah.
Really
Don't you think she could be Candace? Who's the actress that you could be her sister?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
Some people have said that. Only reason I think it's kind of cool is because she has her own wine and I like her wine. So pretty much that's what I think. It's kind of cool because we both spent 33 years in broadcast and radio, and we both retired this year. And when I heard about your retirement and 33 years, I'm like, wow. So first of all,
before you ask that question, they're both going into the Minnesota Broadcast Hall of Fame.
Yes, in November.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Colorado? Did you just run away? What are you doing?
I have a house out here in Colorado, and people go, oh, well, that's fancy. No, it's the house that I grew up in. My bedroom is right. Let me just show you. There's my former childhood bedroom door right there.
So you grew up in Colorado?
Yeah.
Grew up in Colorado. I'm in Black Forest, Colorado, and we've owned this house the entire time. And it's just kind of my getaway. It's in the trees. There's mountains, of course, nearby. Lots of hiking. There are deer in the yard, wild turkeys, foxes. We saw a bear in the yard on the ring cam a couple of years ago. So It's just a beautiful place to come and get away from everything. And our family will come here for Thanksgiving. And I'll let people, if you ever want to borrow my house, Belinda, not you, Lee, you're certainly welcome. You're certainly welcome. I've let people come out here and stay at the house, and they just love it because it's in touristy Colorado with all kinds of things to do.
And you did the morning show from your house many times.
This exact spot many times.
Yeah.
And this microphone belongs to iHeartRadio, so hopefully they won't make me give it. Well, the funny thing is I still work for iHeartRadio. I'm an ambassador, which means it's a created position, which means, hey, we're going to keep you around in case we need you for something and to do commercials for our clients. Yeah, kind of like you, because you're still on the payroll, right?
No, I'm not. I don't care.
Oh, you're not.
But she might show up every once in a while.
That is possibly going to happen. Well, okay. So 33 years. So let's start at the beginning. So did you always work at KDWB?
No, I started here in Colorado Springs. I'll run you through it really quick so it's not boring. I worked at a religious station. And when you're in radio broadcasting, you'll take anything. And I was so proud to work at this religious station. And one of my favorite stories is the general manager, the program director, has shown me around. He's like, oh, there's the board, there's the bathroom, there's the break area, whatever. And he takes me outside, and in the transmitter fence, there's a fence around the big, long tower. There's a fence around it. And inside the fence is a goat. And he says, okay, when you turn everything on and blah, 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 you come out here and you feed the goat.
I
feed
believe
the
it so
goat.
much.
There's
No,
a radio
because
goat.
There's a radio goat, Belinda, because the goat's job was to eat the grass around the transmitter so there wouldn't be a fire. So,
Okay,
but I had to
that's
feed
hilarious.
the goat chow. And so I
And now you're
didn't
the
want
goat.
to.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I always tell people, and I said, do that one extra thing that you don't want to do in life. Do that extra thing, like go to the gym or floss. It's called feeding the goat. It's doing that one extra thing that you don't really want to do, but hey,
It's essential.
And
That's brilliant.
it's essential. So I say feed the goat, and then I went to the top 40 station, and then I went to another top 40 station. I said, I want to do mornings. So I was ignorant enough to believe that at 21 years old, I could get a job in Las Vegas doing mornings with no experience doing mornings. But they hired me, and it worked out really well. And then a year or so later, they brought me to Columbus, Ohio, and I was there for 4 years, and we did really, really well there. And they said, wow, Dave, you're doing really well. Let's send you to Phoenix to save a dying radio station. I did not save that station. I got fired within about 15 months or so, and then I went to a hip-hop station. Now, you look at me, and the first thing you think is hip-hop, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I got fired from that station in less than 2 years. So here I am on the beach, and a friend of mine calls, and they said, hey, they're about to fire Steve Cochran. And Lee knows who
I
this
remember
is.
that day.
And we won't. Yeah, you
was-
do. And so this guy gives me the jump on everybody else that wanted this job at KWB, because what you might not know, KWB is a world, an industry known, nationwide known station. And I thought, I'll never get this job, but I tried for it, and I did. And that was in 1993.
Would you say that in your early years, you're talking 20s, is fake it till you make it is really a mantra? Because
really
you didn't know you could do any of those things, right?
I didn't know. And I look back, and you think of like a 21-year-old doing mornings in a pretty big market like Las Vegas. That doesn't happen. The people competing against me for that job were 30-year-olds. I mean, think about it. It'd be like somebody anchoring the news on Carrie Levin at 21 years old. I had no idea that I was too young and not qualified. And that ignorance is what helped me do it. I didn't know that I shouldn't be able to.
Well, okay, so that's a message to young people too, because you know what? Just don't put those barricades around yourself. Don't put those hurdles around yourself. You possibly could do it. I mean, fake it till you make it. Just say you can, and then figure it out. And if it doesn't work out, here's an example of just move along and try the next thing, right?
Right, exactly. And I had no idea. I would never, if I were in the program director's shoes, I would have never hired a 21-year-old. But he must have seen something in me that made him say, you know what, I'm going to pass by the 30-year-old that's got 5 years of experience doing mornings, and I'm going to hire this 21-year-old. But I'm sure glad he did.
So
Wow.
he shows up in the Twin Cities, and we didn't go shoe shopping right away. We went to dinner first. You remember where we had dinner?
Well, of course I do.
You
We
haven't
went to
even been on the air yet.
No, we went to the Lake Elmo Inn,
Yeah.
and
That's
I
right.
Good
remember.
memory.
And I remember all the salt and pepper shakers all along the wall. And I think I've been back there
Yes.
one time. My daughter had her rehearsal dinner there at the Lake Elmo Inn. And it was
That's where we met.
wow,
That's
that's
so
where
fun.
we
We met.
met for the first
Yep.
time. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you had your whole, let's say, adult career here. You had your family here. Talk about that a little bit. I mean, you obviously you established in Minnesota as a family man.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, yeah, that when Allison and my wife moved here, they were in Phoenix for a few months, and then I don't remember why they stayed there for so long. But then I moved here in June. They came in about September-ish or so, and my daughter Allison was not even 2 years old at the time. And so they moved here. We lived in Plymouth for a while, and then we've lived in Chanhassen. I'm going to be the Grand Marshal of the Chanhassen 4th of July parade.
Of
Just
course
to
you
let
are.
you know. Just to let you
Of
know.
course
Yeah.
you are.
And also, we'll be calling bingo at the Chanhassen Bingo tent on the 4th of July at 11 o'clock. It's free to play. Come on by. It's a whole
sounds
lot of
good.
fun. But the funny thing is, I don't live in Chanhassen anymore. I live in Victoria because, like a lot of people that are our age, the kids are grown. We have a house that's too big for us, so we moved to Victoria. But
You know
yeah,
what's so funny?
Yeah.
I also moved because we downsized as well. So we live just west of Excelsior, but I know your neighbor very well, your new neighbor.
they brought that up, and I'm like, wow, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't know if we should say her name.
So
Maybe
my
she's
sweet,
the one
my sweet friend who I know very well, is she founded an amazing brain tumor research event that I have done for 21 years. Humor to Fight the Tumor. She comes to my Bible study. I go to her Bible study. We go to Bible study
And
together.
she's Dave's new
And
next
she
door
goes,
neighbor.
Guess
right
what?
next door.
Guess
Oh my
what?
gosh.
Dave Ryan moved in next to me. It's a beautiful spot. I love where you live. So congratulations on that. That's a big transition too, moving.
Thank you. Yeah, it took, the funny thing is, there's so many stories. It took us probably 3 years to find the right house because we wanted to live on a lake, and every lake home was either a tear down or close to it or way too expensive. So we put it off, and then finally we said, there's a house over in Victoria. You want to go look at it? Yeah, sure. Why not? And it's one of those things like when you meet someone and you fall in love. It was kind of like love at first sight. You go, oh, wow, I like this person. House.
Oh, we're talking about the dinner again at Lake Elmo Inn?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And so we said, this is the one. We said, let's stop looking. Let's just do it. So we pulled the trigger. We moved in January. So
congratulations.
We just love it. And it's not on a lake. Although it's called a lake, it's a marsh, and but
it's gorgeous though.
It's gorgeous. We love it. There are deer in the backyard. There are pheasants in the backyard. It's just
We don't live on the lake either, and I wanted to, and I'm really jealous, but that's fine. Can't afford
it's not a recreation.
It's
It's a scenic lake, Belinda. It's not a recreational lake, so I can't take a jet ski out there or even a kayak.
A wave runner.
You shouldn't.
Can't.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So during your 33 years of doing radio, and of course, a lot of people know you so well from KDWB, when you were doing it, was there a point in time when you just got sick of waking up in the morning, or a point in time where you were weathering a storm? You were like saying, I don't think I can do this anymore. Something like that. I mean, your business has evolved like my business and our business. So tell me about that.
Well, sure. Radio has changed a lot, and I've been very good at rolling with the changes. When I started with Lee in '93, we had a staff of about 12 on-air people. We had probably 8 full-time people and another 5 part-time people, and a program director and a music director and a huge promotion staff. And we were one station under one roof with one team. And so things changed, but that's not, like I said, I was pretty good at rolling with the changes because essentially my job was still the same. But I think that what happened as the years rolled by is I loved radio so much, but I'd done it, and what I hadn't done is taken more than a week off at a time to go do something. And we got an RV last year, and we can take the RV out for a week, but then we got to be back. And I'm not allowed to take more than a week of vacation. And so it was
still there.
Yeah.
I know. I want to take a 2-week vacation.
They won't let you.
They won't. No, they won't. They won't let you. They won't let you be gone. And there's nothing wrong with that. But so I thought in my entire life, I haven't been off for 2 weeks since I got fired in Phoenix 33 years ago. When you're fired, you're not on vacation. You're scrambling for a job. So I thought there's things I want to do. And so I just use this balance analogy of I love being on the radio, but it's starting to get outweighed by wanting to do other things. So when I signed the contract 3 years ago, I knew it was my last one. I just knew. And the big question I get is, was it your choice? Because in radio, people get fired and laid off, and so people, they want like it to be a dirty story. And I'm like, no, iHeart's been so kind to me. They really have. They've always been kind to me. And so when I said, you know what, I really just don't want to, they're like, okay, well, let's work out a way to make this smoothly happen. So that's what happened.
And I think you did it really well because you were able to just do it with 2 weeks, and you had 2 weeks of goodbyes, because otherwise you have months and months and months of goodbyes, and you're like, oh.
And how about that party too at the Mall of America? That was so much fun for me too.
Well, it was, Belinda, I'll just, if I can reach, when I announced that I was leaving, I said, Belinda did a long goodbye. And I totally respect that. I don't want a long goodbye, because you know how it is when people come up to you in Cub and say, I'm so sad you're leaving. Then you have to have that sad conversation. I did not want that for 6 months. So
I didn't have an option because we had to put they had to post my job, so they had to put a press release out.
Okay,
so they did
sure.
it the day after the Olympics. So it wasn't my job. I didn't want it. I wanted to evaporate, but
you're right.
There was no option there. So
because it's a sad conversation when somebody comes up to you at the Holiday Station store and says, "Oh my gosh, I've been listening to you since I was in 3rd grade, and I'm a grandma now, and blah blah blah." And I'm not exaggerating. I think the math would work out. The math actually could work out. That'd be a young grandma, but anyway. And I didn't want to have those sad conversations all the time for 6 months. So I gave about 10 days notice. But then the party, Lee, you're absolutely right. I said, man, I was sitting on the back deck. And the station's like, let's do a big farewell broadcast at Mall of America. I'm like, great. And it hit me. I said, I'm going to ask everybody who's ever been on the show of note to come back to be there for that. And every single one of them said yes.
Well, that's a tribute to you. That's a tribute to you. Way to go. I saw it all on social media and I listened and it was just fantastic. So congratulations on that.
I thought nobody was going to show up, Belinda. I thought, I was like, what if nobody shows up? It's like anytime you have a party, you're like, oh, God, I hope people show up. And I was so touched and just blown away by the fact that the rotunda was packed and everybody was there and Lee was there.
Well, you asked me if I would roast you. I'm not a roaster.
No.
I couldn't roast you.
You're not a fighter?
I couldn't make fun of him. I don't know why. I couldn't make fun of him. So we talked about Pat instead, which is a big part of our show, Pat Eberts, who, God rest his soul. But we talked about Pat. But some people were ripping you like crazy. And I'm like, I could not do that to you.
Oh, it's funny. I mean, that's what I expected from these people. I mean, I love everybody who's ever been on the show.
It's hilarious.
Some more than others, but I love everybody who's been on the show. And I was so touched that everybody wanted to come back. And I think that, the great thing is it was nice that they wanted to come back, but I think everybody that has been on the show has such a fond recollection of being on that show and being on a big station like KWB. And I think that it's fun to go back. It's like a high school reunion.
Oh,
It was just fun to go back and see all these people that you used to work with and be on that station again.
Okay, so you were on it through decades of your life, and the music in KWB is really a younger music, obviously, right, for younger folks, right? So has it been interesting to kind of age and become older, but still have a demographic that's really young? And
basically, you're still hip.
But you were still hip, and then you were surrounded by young people. Yeah. Your staff you kept replacing them with all these young people because that's the kind of music you had.
Well, yes and no. Our show is really a little bit less about the music than it is about the content. We played about 1, maybe 2 songs an hour because I still think that music is the heart and soul of KWB. That's what we're known for. But I think that also people love the connection, and we would connect with, 20-year-olds, high school kids. We would connect with, grandmas that were in their 60s or 70s and everybody in between, because I think it was the human stories that really connected with people. And the music is kind of the image. But as the years went by, we played less music, and it became less a part of the show, but still kind of the heartbeat of the show, if you will. And I think that there were people who listened because they love the music, but it was never an obstacle to me. I never tried to pretend, hey, you know what? I love that new Gracie Abrams song. I'm old enough to be her dad, but I never pretended. If I said I love Gracie Abrams, I really did. And if I said I love the Taylor Swift song, I really did. But at the same time, if something came on that I'm like, oh man, you know what? I'm not a fan of that song. I wouldn't vocalize that. I just wouldn't pretend, because there's nothing worse than right. There's nothing worse than a guy my age going, hey, yeah, you know what? You know what I love? This act that the 20-year-olds love. There's nothing worse than that. And I think people respect that.
Then you're a dirty old man, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm not that. Okay. Yeah. So out of all the content that you did, all the bits you did, what was your favorite bit that you did?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think, Lee? Name one, Lee.
Well, I got to imagine it's something when we were doing the show. I know you've done a lot of things since, but man, we got away with stuff you can't do anymore.
No, I will tell you.
You can't go to the airport and walk into a men's bathroom and wash some, make fun of people not washing their hands.
Did you
gotta
guys
have a
do
ticket.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's
was
hilarious.
Not us. We
It was
let
called
Pat do
Bathroom
it.
Police. Well, Pat Eberts was the guy who would do anything. And we love this guy. Pat's been gone for a couple of years now. But we love Pat. Everybody loved Pat. As a matter of fact, he told me one time he had New Year's Eve dinner with you and maybe Dave back in about 1993 or 94. And I was like, how'd you get to have dinner with Belinda Jensen?
No, we were hosting a thing and we were doing Jello shots. There was no dinner and we were really drunk.
I love it. That's so funny.
And I remember it so well.
Hold on,
go back to the bits. He went in the bathroom.
guy
You see
here?
who's calling?
The tree guy.
Tall Timbers
tree
is
guy.
calling.
Tall Timbers.
Yeah, I got to take this call.
Yep. Take a call.
Okay, we're going to take a break then.
While
and then
you
we
take
want to
the
know
call.
what the heck's wrong with your trees.
They're
when you come
dead.
back.
He needs to have them taken out.
There's a beetle, I guess.
I know.
All right, we'll be right back. I love Continental Diamond. And the reason I love it is because there are so many things that they know there that are so difficult to understand when it comes to how much we should spend, how to get things fixed, how to, of course, get a beautiful item in any price point. We're talking about a family-owned company since 1981. It was voted best jeweler by Minnesota Bride magazine for 16 consecutive years. So if you have jewelry needs, or you want to figure out how much something is worth, or you need something fixed, all of those things, go to Continental Diamond. So what's wrong with your trees?
Okay, so I don't live, but I'm here in this beautiful pine forest. It's called Black Forest, Colorado, right outside of Colorado Springs. And because of the, climate change or warmer weather, the beetles are not dying like they normally do. So they're
eating it all up.
They're eating the whole forest up. And
Got to call Grow With Care. Call Bobby Jensen.
Right, exactly. And it's been this huge epidemic. I don't know if that's the word for it, where they're killing trees by the hundreds. And I live on 5 acres. I've got about 400 trees. Last
how many
year,
do they have to take down? That's expensive.
They took out 40 last year.
Oh.
There are another 10 or 20 that need to be taken out this year. And it is expensive, but you got to do it because they will, within a course of years, they'll eat the entire property.
Sorry.
It's like a fire. It's worse in some areas than others.
Okay, we have to get back to the bathroom police and Pat Eberts. What happened at the airport? Tell me.
We were talking about the favorite bits ever. One of them was Pat Eberts would take a bullhorn into the bathroom and wait for some guy to walk out without washing his hands. He'd go up behind him and say, "Excuse me, everybody, this man right here in front of me, don't touch him, don't talk to him, don't approach him." He did not wash his hands. He did not wash his hands. And
at
the
the
guys
airport?
Yes,
wherever, usually at the airport.
He'd do stuff I would never. Neither one of us would ever do it.
Okay,
he
that's
did it.
crazy. What else did you do
Mile
that you can't
of
do?
meat.
What else did you do that you can't do anymore?
Mile of meat, probably.
Well, mile of meat. We'll touch on that one. We lined up a bunch of guys with a cardboard sign that said 1 through 100. We put them on the side of Highway 55 in Golden Valley, and you would drive by.
Women
a woman
would drive by,
and they would
the
say,
meat were men.
Yeah. And, I like guy number 3. So, great. Okay, your name is Gretchen. We're going to get you guy number 3's phone number, and we're all going to meet up at a bar wherever.
We had a big party at a bar.
Yeah.
And they all met.
See, isn't it sad we can't do that anymore? Because I think a mile of meat sounds really fun. And I know a lot of women that would love to have a mile of meat right now because they cannot find a man. So good for you that you did that.
It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure that there were some couples that worked out and some that did not. We did Extreme Jamie. Extreme Jamie would do ridiculous stunts dressed in a Speedo, like ride a bicycle off of a high dive into a swimming pool.
He got a school bus driver fired. Do you remember what happened? We put him in the back of a school bus and went over a speed bump at 30 miles per hour without a seatbelt to show how dangerous it was.
Did the dude lose his job?
Yeah, dude lost his job because
He
Jamie
sure
hit
did.
the ceiling. Jamie, the bus was going slow, hit the speed bump, and Jamie went flying up into the ceiling.
Was there a camera that's why they fired him?
No, we
No
just did
cameras back
audio.
then. No cameras
No, it
back
was
then.
all
Just audio. There was
See, that
no
was great
digital
when there's no
cameras back then.
cameras.
There was an 8mm camera somewhere, but no.
Oh my goodness.
But we just did we had a lot of fun. We did, of course, War of the Roses is a classic bit that I've been doing. That was kind of my signature bit for the last 25-ish years or so.
So was Christmas Wish.
Christmas Wish was another one where we would help people who were in need at Christmas. you would write in and say, hey, my neighbor, her son has cancer and they can't work because they're taking care of him all the time and they have no money for Christmas. And they really would love, like some money to spend some time with him while he's still healthy. And we would give them a trip, or we would give them, a video game system or even gas money. And that was one of our signature things that we love to do also.
Alex put
that's
up a
so
picture.
Nice, because that's what community is all about. You guys really help so many people.
Alex
along
is
the way.
going to put up a picture later of you with a plunger stuck to your belly.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah,
because
I don't know, but we have pictures of stuff we did.
Yeah, we were in the original studio, and I was probably 31 years old and stuck a plunger on my naked belly. I don't know why, because it's
I have the picture.
It's funny.
Did it come
I don't
off?
know. No, it's
you
still
walked
there.
around
That's
with
why
it
you're.
for a couple of
That's why
weeks.
I'm here. It's still there.
Hey, really quick, sleeping in. Now, here's the thing: retiring, doing morning radio after 9 o'clock. We're done with the day, anyways. Now you can sleep till 9. So it's like,
Are you sleeping in?
are you sleeping in?
I got up at 8:15 this morning, and
That's awesome.
It's sleeping in.
it's
What time
not.
did you have to be at the station?
That's sleeping in when you're up
about
at
6.
3:30.
Oh, you had to be there at 6.
Yeah.
So you
I
were
had to be
up
there
around
at 6.
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So
I'd actually get up about 4:15 because I lived out in the a long way,
boonies.
and I would get up and I would sit at the counter in my house and do Wordle and connections and strands every morning and have coffee, so I wouldn't have to rush right into work. And then we'd be done prepping for the next day's show by about noon. And then we were kind of free for the rest of the day. But the funny thing is, Belinda, is that it's not just the sleeping in; it's the fact that I don't have to rush and get a shower and rush into work, and it's just the free time is awesome. And I'm out here to decompress for a couple of weeks. My wife will be here in a week or so. We got an RV. We're going to go down Route 66 sometime this year.
We both bought RVs. We just bought one too.
Look at that.
But he
They're
can go
great.
for 2 weeks
All these
now. I
people.
can only go for a weekend up to Grand Rapids.
I also love not showering and not having to figure out your hair and not having to put, for me, lashes and the whole dress and the whole thing, and not being out of the house every single night at 5, 6, and 10, and being out of the house till 10:30 at night, and going back to work at 8:30 at night when I went home for dinner. And now I'm in my pajamas. Like the minute I come home from whatever I'm doing, it's like my husband's like, it's like 4:30. What are you doing in your pajamas?
And I know the
Because
tree.
I want to be in my pajamas at 4:30.
I know the tree guy's coming in just a couple of
yeah.
minutes here, and we got to let you go because of the Beatles. What is your forecast?
Yeah, what's your forecast other than the Route 66?
And forecast change. I have a grandbaby now. My forecast has changed.
I don't know. And everybody asked that, and I follow these retirement accounts on Instagram, and it's so interesting. Some people are like, "Man, I do whatever I do whatever I want. I don't have a plan." And other people are like, "I feel so lost without having a plan and a purpose and a schedule every day." I haven't figured that out yet, but I definitely want to learn something. To learn, wouldn't it be cool to learn American Sign Language? That'd be really cool. It'd be really cool to learn Spanish fluently. I want to learn something, but at the same time,
I
nice.
told Belle too, you're a pilot.
Yeah.
A lot of people might want to learn how to fly. I flew with him once. Scared the hell out of me, but you're a great pilot.
It did not. We did
Well, it
great.
did because the show would have been done if something happened.
True.
It would have been done. But
That's true,
yeah.
you're a great pilot. You've been a pilot for years.
I
long time.
appreciate your honesty of not knowing what your forecast is yet,
Yeah.
because I kind of feel the same way, but I just didn't want to, there was some things I just didn't want to do anymore. So I know that, and I feel good about that, but I don't know it's blurry looking ahead, but the blurry is kind of fun, right?
It is fun, and that's so common. And I, talking to people online who are retired, and they don't know yet. It's like, there's a lot of 40-year-olds that don't know what they want to be in life. And there's a lot of 65-year-olds that are like, yeah, I don't really know, but I do like to have the freedom of me deciding what I get to do.
And I think what's important is, and I don't know if you saw the scene in the show Madison, where the two of them are talking before, and he talks about how if you wait too long to do these things that are down the road, and you don't do them when you're actually able to do them, like how good, you guys are able to do the sports you want to do, you're able to fly, you're able to play golf, you're able to do whatever, I'm surfing, whatever. Then all of a sudden you can't even barely walk down the beach anymore. You can finally afford the resort, but you can't walk down the beach anymore and go into the water because you're too old.
That's so true.
So you have to do these things when you're, because you know what Warren Miller always said is if you don't do it today, next year you'll just be a year older.
Yeah.
And I feel that way. Every time like I don't want to jump in the lake and surf. I'm like, well, next year I'll be just a year older. So I better get in the water.
Well, I think that's one of the things that I also try to do is stay healthy. I mean, I work out 2 or 3 times a week. I do a ton of cardio because I don't want to. There's something that you and Lee will relate to and appreciate. Somebody said there are the go-go years of retirement, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. You know, you've
That's
heard
the first
this
I've ever
before.
heard that.
Go, slow go, no go.
Wow.
So you have to retire when you're in the go.
I got to go.
Otherwise, you're slow go or no go.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're a go. So good for you.
Yeah. I rode the motorcycle 150 miles up into the mountains and back yesterday.
Did you? I bet that was beautiful.
I've got on 2 4-mile hikes. I'm always careful, Lee. Always careful. I rarely, if ever, text while I'm riding the motorcycle.
Or walking down a mountain.
Yeah.
Dave Ryan, you know what? What a treasure you've been for so long. People so enjoyed listening to you. You brought a lot of people joy in the mornings, even on tough mornings. So congratulations to you. And you know what? I'm so excited that you have all these years ahead that you can have all
and
this
November,
fun.
a big party in Stillwater.
Yeah, we're going to have a big party in November.
We'll see you there.
In the same class. How honored am I?
It's the Minnesota Broadcast Hall of Fame dinner and induction ceremony. And I will be there. I'll be the one in the back of the room going, woohoo!
We can get you a seat in the front if you want.
Belinda's bringing Jell-O shots. We're pretty excited about that.
Pretty much I am. Yeah, I'm going to work on my recipe. Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you for being our first guest.
Thank you, of course.
On Weathering Life with Belle and Lee. We don't know how long it's going to last, but we know that your segment is going to make it because
love you, David.
You're our first guest.
I love you, Lee. David, that's how my mom used to say David. She had a bit of a Southern accent. David. She used to be on the radio to do football predictions every week.
And my dad would call me Leanne or Banana, and we'd be walking down the hallway, and I hear Leanne or Banana. You know, I'm like, okay,
David. Well, David, have a nice day. Enjoy, and good luck with your trees.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.